Zelos has been a constant fixture of our videos. Now, it's also found in many watch collections around the world because of their unique approach to design and their brand accessibility. But there are certain models in the collections that make it a little bit more special and rare. So rare, in fact, that it may feel more at home at a safari being filmed by a Discovery crew and accompanied by a proper English narrator. This is one of those rare breeds. So let's find out what the Starfighter Damascus Aventurine chronograph, quite a mouthful, brings to the table that makes really Zelos the king of microbrands. Let us examine it in its natural habitat on my wrist. This video is brought to you by Zelos Watches. If you just look at this watch, even if I just say yada yada, blah blah blah, and goo goo gaga, you'd still know that I'm talking about a Zelos. Now, forget that you just heard a whiskered pirate baby make that introduction. Just believe me, this is one watch that you'll never forget once you have it on your hands. There's a kind of persona to it that challenges your perception about watches. If you're a watch enthusiast, you'll need little convincing, but for the rest of the world, they'll collectively ask, what's all the yada yada about? Well, for starters, this is a very comfortable 41mm watch that works even for baby pirate wrists. Partnered with this tropic rubber strap, it further conforms to the shape of your cuff. I like that Zelos went with an all-black strap and buckle setup here, as it will demand little attention. The material itself is quite flexible that adds to the appeal of keeping this watch on the strap. However, it also comes with a custom handmade leather strap that really brings this watch to a whole new level. This is a strap that I left this watch on. It feels more appropriate seeing how a lot of this watch is handcrafted. Being a new strap, it will require some breaking in to loosen that leather. It's also quite thick and hefty both visually and on your wrist. The overall look now comes off as a rugged do-it-all tool that needs to be smuggled by Indiana Jones from a forbidden Mexican temple. Now, if that's too exotic for you, you can bring it down a notch with Zelos' own 22mm Horween leather strap. This one is from the titanium swordfish, and I'm pretty happy with this combination as well. The warm brown just blends well with the striking blue case. This particular strap went through a lot of adventures already, so it's quite comfortable and significantly thinner than the original strap. Why I only got a taste of the handcraft goodness on the bezel of this swordfish, all of that delightful detail engulfs this rare Starfighter model. See? It's a Zelos if you ever saw one. It's one thing to watch this timepiece from a screen, and it's a whole different proposition when held on hand to actually operate. In large part, it's made of titanium, but it feels heavy and solid like a stainless steel watch. Equally solid is the operation. This mechanical automatic movement is pleasing to wind with its non-screw-down crown. Setting the time and date is not a hassle at all, and the crown itself has little to no wobble while turning in either direction. All these playable parts are coated in black that I initially felt as out of place, but when I saw that everything else is darkened, it does make sense to be produced this way. Now, this Elobore caliber is very satisfying to activate and very responsive as expected from an automatic chronograph movement. While with all of the distracting details on the dial, one may wonder if it's even readable. Well, it is harder to read than simpler chronographs, but whoever said that this was a simple chronograph? The strap alone has 3 different shades and tones, and the more you handle it, the more your details gets added on it. Suffice to say, this will be a uniquely personalized piece the more you spend time with this watch. And now that we're in the subject of details, let's examine this one more closely. Let's do this while trying to ignore that wild case for a moment. First, let's talk about that. Wow. Yes. Look at that side. Yes. Really, okay, really, let's talk about it later. This stitching and wrinkled leather strap provides an extra organic look to the watch. The underside of the band is lined by blue textured leather that spills over the top through these hefty ring keepers. This is then tipped off with a sign-coated buckle. Still at the bottom side, the display case back shows off the ETA 2894 movement. This movement is decorated with a custom rotor that resembles an aircraft turbine. The caliber plates have a decent amount of perlage as well. The rotor is coated in black to match all of the other mechanical parts of the watch. I would have liked that case back frame to be coated in black as well to match these elements. Flipping over, and it's time for that case. This is made from a combination of zirconium and titanium sheets. They are then folded numerous times to create this striped pattern. Every case is then torched manually by Zelos founder. True hand-finished goodness there. To make things even more luxurious is the Aventurine dial. This deep blue sheet of ceramic beautifully sparkles like the starry night sky, a very appropriate material to represent a chronograph named Starfighter. And of course, in the dark it glows like a true Zelos that it is. This case delivers a great shine and subtle texturing through its contrasting forged materials. Priced at almost $2,500, this price tag reflects its rare nature. There's only 25 of these in the world and another 25 with a meteorite dial. In 2016, Aventurine released the full blue titanium DB28T. That piece of art is worth 200 of these Zircti Starfighters. Both the DB28 and this watch requires delicate hand finishings that's actually very easy to spot. All you need to do is stare at all of the blue parts. As easy as that may sound, it's actually pretty hard to get evenly done. Underdo it and you'll get a different color other than blue. Overdo it and well, you just have an expensive piece of burnt metal. That kind of craft that happens behind the scenes makes the owner of these pieces feel good about owning a piece of work and art. You can have that too with this Starfighter. If you can, snag one pre-owned because it's all sold out. But all of that is yada yada to most people. However, they would certainly go ooh and ah once they see it in person. Now pay attention to this. You can get a Zelos for as little as $400 like this black tip GMT, which is going to be released in a few days, or one of these Starfighters, which is 6 times the price. Now in between also there's countless models to choose from, so there's bound to be one for your taste and your budget. And on top of that, Zelos brings the best quality service and interactivity in the watch industry. So what more could you ask for? That really what makes Zelos the king of microbrands, and we're just happy to finally review one of its top models, the Zelos Damascus Starfighter Aventurine chronograph. Still a mouthful.